Good morning. You're listening to Slices of Wenatchee. We're excited to bring you a closer look at one of our top stories and other important happenings every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Today, despite drought and rising costs, Washington's apple growers are pushing through to deliver another standout harvest. Before we continue, have you joined Neighbor yet? If not, download the app today and join local conversations about issues that matter. Neighbor is a site just for our local community focused on facts, not misinformation. Best of all, it's free for everyone. To learn more, visit wenatcheeworld.com/NABUR. Now, let's jump in. It's apple season in Washington, and despite droughts, labor shortages, and rising costs, growers are still expecting a sweet and abundant harvest. Washington continues to lead the nation in apple production, and this year's forecast calls for around 142 million 40-pound boxes of fresh apples, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of local growers. Despite facing one of the worst drought seasons on record, orchards across the state managed to turn out high-quality fruit with good sizing and strong eating appeal. Much of that credit goes to the growers, who've learned to navigate environmental pressures while keeping pace with changing consumer demand. But the story this year is about more than just the apples on the trees. It's about the tough choices happening behind the scenes. Many growers are bracing for a harvest that falls short of its full potential, simply because they can't afford to pick it all. Between escalating labor costs and a shrinking workforce, the economics of apple farming are under strain. The federal H-2A guest worker program has become a lifeline, supplying the seasonal labor orchards depend on, but it's far from a free fix. Farmers must provide housing, transportation, insurance, and other benefits, all while paying wages that have jumped nearly 36% over 6 years, well above the state's minimum wage. It's a steep investment that eats into already thin margins. That cost burden is driving major changes in the industry. Small farms are consolidating, and some family growers are stepping away entirely. In just 5 years, Washington lost 15% of its tree fruit farms. Still, there's hope in the fruit itself, especially as demand grows for organic apples. Washington now produces over 90% of the nation's organic supply, and 15% of this year's crop is organic. That long-term investment is beginning to pay off for growers who are adapting to shifting market expectations. There is also a movement in the apple varieties consumers are reaching for. While Gallo still leads the pack, followed by Honeycrisp, Granny Smith, and Red Delicious, a new contender has broken into the top 5. Cosmic Crisp. Introduced to the market in 2020, the variety now represents nearly 10% of total production and marks a new chapter in Washington's apple legacy. Apple farming remains deeply rooted in the identity of this region, both economically and culturally. According to the state's agriculture department, apples alone made up 16% of Washington's total farm value just a couple of years ago. Even in a year marked by heat and hardship, growers say this year's crop looks and tastes exceptional. And that's a reflection of something deeper than the weather. It's about expertise, grit, and a quiet kind of pride in what these orchards still produce. The apple harvest typically continues into November, so expect to see more bins stacked high and more trucks rolling out across the valley as the season hits full stride. For more on this story, head over to wenatcheeworld.com. For more, head over to wenatcheeworld.com. Are you passionate about the issues shaping North Central Washington? Then you won't want to miss the Wenatchee World Forum at Pybus. This monthly event brings together newsmakers and the community to dive into the topics that matter most. It's your chance to engage, ask questions, and be part of the conversation shaping our region's future. Have questions or need more info? Visit wenatcheeworld.com/forum. Now, a few other stories you should know about. The Wenatchee City Council moved forward on several items last week, including an agreement tied to the Bighorn Ridge project, preserving 134 acres of land north of Ome Gardens for recreation, habitat, and outdoor education. The city is contributing about $40,000 toward the deal, which is set to close early next year, while most of the funding came from a state grant and years of fundraising by the Shalane Douglas Land Trust. Alex Haley never set out to run a performing arts center. He just wanted to make people laugh. But over time, the East Wenatchee native turned a handful of comedy gigs into a full-fledged career at the Numerica Performing Arts Center, where he now serves as executive director. From launching beer gardens at Apple Blossom to developing the Black Box series, Haley's work has helped reshape Wenatchee's cultural landscape, all while keeping his sense of humor. Once the backbone of Wenatchee's economy, small orchards are now under heavy strain. Third-generation growers like Blaine Smith say the costs of labor and regulatory compliance are so high that farming is becoming unsustainable. Many have already sold off land to stay afloat, and others point to the consolidation of agriculture into large corporate hands. While orchards still dot the outskirts of the valley, the days of fruit trees stretching from the Columbia River to Saddle Rock are fading fast. If Taylor Swift's recent engagement gave you wedding venue envy, you're not alone. Inspired by her enchanted proposal, we've got 5 magical North Central Washington spots to consider, from the hidden waterfalls of Ome Gardens to the cherry orchard charm of Hampton Hideaway. Whether you dream of tying the knot aboard the Lady of the Lake or under Leavenworth's alpine skies, North Central Washington offers its own kind of fairy tale backdrop. No celebrity status required. Head over to WenatcheeWorld.com for the full list and pictures. Thanks for listening. For more information on all the stories you heard today, visit us at WenatcheeWorld.com. The Wenatchee World has been engaging, informing, and inspiring North Central Washington communities since 1905. We encourage you to subscribe today to keep your heart and mind connected to what matters most in North Central Washington. Thanks for starting your morning with us, and don't forget to subscribe to Slices of Wenatchee wherever you listen to podcasts.